What's a work scam that's become so normalized we don't even realize it's a scam anymore? I'll start. When they start processing your payroll days out from your check but won't actually show you the check until it's paid. Show us the amounts in advance and we can tell you if it's wrong before it's too late. I can't tell you how many employers have an app that says the hours I should be paid and still screw up and get me late fees on my bills. Be here 15 minutes before your shift starts. Yeah bro. Normally I would because I like to ease in, make a coffee etc. But if you require it and don't pay, I'm rolling in at 9 on the dot. Unpaid lunches resulting in a 9-hour workday. Absolute fucking horseshit. For the Americans in the crowd, let's talk about tying proper healthcare to our jobs. Shall we? It's become so normalized that we sometimes forget how wild it is that a huge chunk of our healthcare security is linked to where we work. If you or one of your loved ones requires ongoing medical coverage, you literally cannot quit your job. If you're thinking about switching careers or just need a change of pace, there's this looming threat. You can't just leave. 'Cause if something unfortunate happens, you're screwed. We are all hostages of our employers. Used to be a normal shift was 9 a.m. 5 p.m. with an hour paid lunch break included. Now, it's 9 a.m. 5:30 p.m. or 8:30 a.m. 5 p.m. or some other weird shift. And the half hour for lunch is not paid. Do it for the team. Others are counting on you to try and get free labor. Mixing together sick and vacation PTO. Attendance policies, telling an employee who they can and can't take time off to grieve for. Unpaid lunches. Yes, you aren't required to work during that time, but you also can't realistically go anywhere and do anything. Wage theft of almost every type is so normalized we barely notice it. Team lead. It really means you're going to get management responsibilities without management pay. Working most of the day for most of the week. A work contest to see who can have the highest sales dollars. We push to make them a crap ton of profit and they give us shitty rewards like $10 gift cards or the smallest percentage of a bonus they can find. It's total garbage. Sick days. Don't call them sick days. When I need them they drain my available PTO first before they get to the sick days. By then I am usually no longer sick and with the little amount PTO I accrue during the year, I am now not getting a vacation. Out sick is not a fucking vacation. After work activities being not mandatory but advised or affecting your standing at work. I used to have a 2-hour turnaround commute for work and at least once a month my bosses would look to have the whole team go out for a few hours after an 8-hour shift starting at the crack of dawn where every minute of our day was accounted for. I just wanted to clock in and then go home because I was just mentally exhausted by the end of the day. But would always get the stink eye when I would politely decline the 3-hour detour for team building with a team we couldn't even socialize with since we were on the phone 8 hours a day. Showing adding up health insurance as a part of total compensation. HR is there to protect the company, no one is there to protect the employees. 5-day work week. The part where I make $100 for my employer and he gives me 10 for my efforts. Working over 40 hours a week on salary. Fuck that. Saying we get 2 days off. It's more like 1.5 days. Saturday is the only real day off. On Sundays, you try to sleep early to be ready for Monday morning. There is no real rest when Saturday is the only day you can sleep in and sleep late. 40 hours a week of work 5 days a week is too long. It's harder to manage your regular life and it's too hard to get anything done in your regular life. Because you're too burned out giving your entire days and times at work. Work should be 6 hours a day. It's hard to stay productive after the 5th or 6th hour and have 3 days off so we can get real rest and take care of our real life shit. Capitalism is the ultimate pyramid scheme. Having to find someone to cover for you when you call out sick. That's the fucking manager's job, not yours. Being on salary. Salary is such a scam that only benefits a company in that they can get free labor and not pay OT. There is zero benefit to the employee. Why this even exists is something I find baffling. Downsizing and not getting compensated for doing more work. PTO. Let's take your mandated sick leave and lump it with your vacation. So people think I'm not staying home sick and wasting my vacation time. I'm going in. And then get everyone else fucking sick. Thanks. Being expected to give 2 weeks notice or you get a bad reference can't be rehired. But we can be fired on the spot for literally no reason at all. What is that horseshit? Health insurance being tied to employment. Go above and beyond and we will reward you with even more work. Expecting free overtime from salaried employees. What bothers me about my unpaid lunch is that I first have to clock out in Chronos. Then I have to clock out in a separate program at a computer in the break room that takes 5 minutes of that lunch away just to load. All BC they want to track our break location and actively see who is on break or not. Like we aren't fucking adults. Unpaid internships. How and why have we oaked this? Unpaid lunch hour. Held captive for 9 hours and paid for 8. Promising growth and development, dangling the carrot on the stick but not following through. My employer keeps paperwork that we are supposed to be filling out regularly in the break room. A lot of people have too much to do and they fill it out on their breaks. I never have. I don't care how behind I am. If the company wants something done, they are going to have to pay me to do it. Companies offering 3 raises while inflation is 8. The standard 40-hour work week. Not being paid for commute time and its expenses. I don't know if it's normalized, but it seems to be growing. Unlimited PTO. Work is the scam. Employee surplus value is effectively stolen. Health and childcare savings accounts. They exist to sucker people like me who simply will not ever do paperwork if I'm not about to go hungry. Don't sign up if you don't love paperwork. It's a scam. Health insurance. It was created as a benefit. When you're expected to be ready to start when your shift starts. Fine. When you come in a bit early to get a coffee and get your work face on and colleagues immediately start throwing work at you. I used to come in 15 minutes early and people who were due to finish when I started would just pack up and go. Thanks to this sub I no longer tolerate that. I still come in early to prepare for the shit show and get a coffee, but I'm not working. I actually had a nurse storm up to me once saying a call bell had been going for 10 miles. Why wasn't I responding? I shrugged and asked her where her day staff were. It used to be salary work was done to have it, so it say there was need to work an extra 5 or so hours for a few weeks to get a project done. You could basically leave early a week or so afterwards to kinda make up for it. Now salary means we expect you to average 50 hours a week. Yep. Had an employer who would strip the client info from the pay stub. So it was just random billing hours. And then they'd shuffle those hours so they weren't in any kind of order. I started matching them up. And once I did that, caught them short changing me every week. Finally I threatened them with going to doll over it and the short changing stopped, but I still had to spend an hour making sure I was being paid correctly every check.